So we want to talk about impact and talking about regional integration and how industries like transport, digital connectivity, how this really helps improve and strengthen development impact.
So I think development impact is enhanced dramatically by regional integration. First, because when you have a small production and your markets are limited, the only way you can expand scale is by having access to other markets. And regional integration enables that. But for it to work, you need the infrastructure that connects, you need the regulations that allow you to do it smoothly, you need the processes to be speedy so you don't waste time, and so on. So when all of those are in place, you can see a real impact in people's lives. For example, a small and medium enterprise can now see multiples of revenue because the markets have increased. The logistics companies can see more revenues because now they have more cargo to carry. But even the investors can see more returns because they can diversify their investments. So the impact can be seen from a farmer to the trader to the investor all the way up and down the value chain.
No, that's fascinating. And I was thinking now we're talking a lot about the role of the private sector in development. And tell us more from your perspective, what role does the private sector play in strengthening supply chains?
Yeah, so the private sector, first of all, anticipates changes much faster than governments. They're able to see market opportunities, they take advantage of those opportunities, and they're like the bees who pollinate the flowers, and with that they can actually spread across multiple regions and countries, introduce new products, and because for them it's the final sale of a service or a good that makes a difference, the entire chain from production to transformation to transport and to final sale becomes important. So the whole value chain needs to improve for that final value to be seen, either in terms of profitability, productivity, or even employment. So I think the private sector drives regional integration by enhancing opportunity at different levels of the value chain, and regional integration impacts value chains in different ways, either by making them more efficient, by making them more productive, or by making them more affordable.
I like that, the bees pollinating in different countries. I love that analogy. And maybe just to finish up, I wanted to find out, maybe you can give us a concrete example of, or something that's coming up in future trends.
Yeah, so what I find fascinating is this dual tension, if you like, between liking things that are very local and that have a story, but wanting them from wherever you are in the world. And digitization has allowed us to have those demands through e-commerce. You can order practically anything you need from a platform, from your phone or from any device. But for that to be produced, it has to really fall through the infrastructure that's in place, the interconnectivity of that infrastructure, the pricing at which you get those goods and services to move, and then the final quality at which it is delivered. And all of those then depend on really very effective integration of markets, of infrastructure systems, and of regulatory systems. So in the future, I anticipate as these digital demands increase, that there'll be even more pressure for the performance of these three systems. None of them can be left behind.
That's true. And thank you so much, Frannie, for these insights. And thank you, everyone, for watching today. If you want to learn more about regional integration, please follow us on our social media channels.